Hello 212 students. In this tutorial we're going to talk about Model Builder, and we're also going to go through a couple of the criteria to show you how to get started with your project in the actual application. So first things first, you want to make a folder connection to the final project in the Q drive. So to do that, you go to folders right here in the catalog pane, and you're going to right click and go to add folder connection. Navigate to the Q drive, go into class data, 212, click on this final project and click OK. Alright, so then it will be under folders here. This is where all your data is located, in this geodatabase and right here. Okay? So, first things first, we're going to go through the two criteria we talked about in the conceptual video. We're going to talk about the ranger districts, and we're going to talk about the ski areas. And we're going to get those started in the model. First, we need to make a model. We do this under the Insert tab, right here. You're going to go to, we do this in the Analysis tab. We go to Analysis and we click on Model Builder, right here. And it'll bring up a blank page. Here on Model Builder, we can add layers, but they're not going to look like they do on the map. Let me show you. If I bring in Ranger Districts, it's this little blue oval, Ranger Districts right here. This is the layer itself. A model is kind of like an outline. You're looking at what is going on in your process. You'll see more what I'm talking about later. So let's bring in ski boundaries too. This is going to be the two layers we're going to work on. And just for good measure, over in our map, we're going to bring these layers in just so we can visualize them. Looks like those are the ski areas in Utah, those pink polygons. Let's bring in the ranger districts. And we'll put ski areas on top. Alright, so here's the ranger districts, and here's the ski areas. Okay, so that's what it looks like visually on a map. Let's go back into our model though. You go to the top here and you go to Model, click on it. Okay. So, let's get this criteria ready to go before we do the intersect. So, what you can do is you can do tools, you can do processes in the model. So, let's try one right now. First, we need to grab ranger districts that are good, that meet the criteria. In our instructions, we see that our ranger districts need to be either Spanish Fork, Heber Comus, or Pleasant Grove. So we're going to use a tool called the Select tool. Alright, so same as before, you can actually drag a tool into here, just like you could with the layers. So this is the Select tool, but right now it hasn't got anything that it's working off of. So we can say, hey, ranger districts, we're going to use the Select here as an input feature. Now notice the original layers we put in are blue. The tools are in yellow, and the output is in green. Okay? So what we're going to do is we can actually double click on Select and we can calibrate the tool from the inside. So what we're going to do is we see that it selected ranger districts, and we see that the output is going to be called ranger district select. But we need to do a definition query using district names, includes the values, and we need to select the ones that we want. Heber Comus, Pleasant Grove, Spanish Fork. And then if we click OK, we can actually right click on this and run the tool. Okay? Now it's done. You'll notice that little shadows appeared around the tool and the output to show that it was done. Now we can right click it and we can actually click Add to Display, and it will show us what it actually selected. There we go. Here's our new layer, which is exactly what we wanted, by the way. These three all these areas together are the 3 ranger districts we want. Okay, so now Ranger Districts is ready to go in the model. Now let's do ski area. Now, the criteria for ski area is this. It cannot be within 1 kilometer of ski resort where we harvest. To find out everywhere that's within 1 kilometer of a ski resort, we're going to use the buffer tool. Once again, we'll just drag it here. Okay. Same as before, we need to tell it what to buffer. We're going to say, hey, we want to buffer this. This is the input feature. We're going to double click on buffer. And what we're going to do is we're just going to say we want the ski area boundaries buffer. We want it to be 1 kilometer, which is here at the top. Now we can run it. And now let's add this to the display as well. Here we go. These blue polygons mark all the areas that are 1 kilometer, within 1 kilometer of a ski resort where we cannot cut. Now, last, we need to talk about the fact that Model Builder has a lot of advantages, because let's say that later on you realized you did the wrong distance for a buffer. It's no big deal. You can just come in here, change it, say you wanted 2, and then you can just rerun the whole thing, and you don't have to redo all your processes. And later on, you can actually continue these lines and do more tools here. Let's say this is not what you'd want to do, but let's say you wanted to intersect these two. You can drag it on here, and you can have both of these be input features. Like I said, don't do that. But you can see the power of Model Builder here, and it will help you keep your programs organized, and it will help you be able to visualize the processes you're doing to your layers.